everybody, and welcome to About Nothing But Sports. I am your host, Ashley Nicole Baker, and y'all, first of all, I'm just really thankful that you guys are tuning into my show week in, week out. When I post, you're looking for me even when I don't post. And I just appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for always just rocking with your girl. And this week is a dope week. Look, it's a special. I don't usually talk wrestling on my show, but every year, for those that follow me, y'all know I cannot not talk WrestleMania. I cannot not talk the Super Bowl of wrestling. And I cannot not talk WrestleMania without the Wrestling Wrealm. Now, in previous years, it's only been one half of the Wrestling Wrealm, Brian H. Waters. But this year, we are joined by the whole squad. Brian H. Waters, the real Dwayne Allen. Hey, y'all.
What's up? We about to cut up today. Yes, you got both of us.
It's a party.
Good behavior.
WrestleMania week. It's a WrestleMania week. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
I'm so geeked to have y'all. Let me look. Having these guys behind the scene, in studio, it's just a mess. These dudes are straight clowns. I absolutely love it. They keep me laughing. They've been keeping me laughing for the last however many minutes. We've been trying to get on here, but let's get it. Let's get it, fellas. Are y'all excited?
Are we excited? It's WrestleMania season. Are we excited? Man, I've been ready for weeks. Dwayne to tell you, I've been sitting up here watching WrestleMania after WrestleMania. We've been doing Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast after Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. You damn right I'm ready. Let's get it.
This is a tradition for Brian H. This is WrestleMania season. Brian H is one of the few guys that burns himself out from wrestling, which I didn't think was possible until I witnessed him doing WrestleMania week. So
really quick. So most people that know, y'all know that Brian H is my guy, best friend. Talk all the time outside, of sports stuff. Same thing with Dwayne. Dwayne's my guy. Love both of these guys. But I want to know, because for me, and Dwayne, you probably can answer this question.
Okay.
I feel like Brian is always watching WrestleManias. When does it actually start? When does WrestleMania season start for you? Because from my recollection, my guy, WrestleMania season started for you back in December. So when does it actually start?
Oh, man, you asking me when does Brian H's WrestleMania season start? Good. Is
gosh. It 24/7 year round kind of thing? Okay, so it's no particular time.
No,
got it.
Brian H takes a week off after WrestleMania, after all the surprises, and he's right back into it. There is no off season for WrestleMania. His WrestleMania season is it's his daily routine, and then he just goes in overdrive. That's why he burned himself out a couple of years ago, because that's when he was hitting the pavement. He was hitting show after show after show. He was traveling with the WrestleMania. I said, "Yo, you're gonna burn yourself out." That's exactly what he did.
He called it the wrestling hangover. That was 2012.
You had a pro wrestling hangover. I never thought I'd see the day, but
there was also other reasons, but y'all gonna have to wait, because we'll get that to you later. But that's a big surprise coming down the line.
Oh yeah, we're spilling the tea, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Look, and so for those that are, my regular listeners, I appreciate y'all, like I said at the beginning of the show. But, Dwayne and Brian have one goal on today's show. One goal. I need them to sell me on this year's WrestleMania, because, look, I'm an Attitude Era girl. They both know that I used to watch wrestling back in the Attitude Era, so I don't keep up with it as much anymore. But I really want y'all to sell me on this. Give me a reason to order this show, or log into somebody's account to watch it. I want y'all to sell me on the show. I want y'all to sell my loyal listeners on the show if they're not wrestling fans. Do y'all think that y'all got it in y'all? Is the show going to be that good this year where I might want to tune in, and I'm not a typical wrestling fan?
That's an easy one. Let me say this first and foremost. The show's never going to be that good for you to tune in, because that's not why your generation and my generation watches wrestling.
Okay.
We watch professional wrestling to relax, to have fun, to enjoy the product that we see. It's a big party with some of the biggest sports fans in the world. A lot of people fake like they don't watch wrestling because of this, that, and the third. Listen, we got to get over our childhood heartbreak. We found out that wrestling is entertainment. It's not what we consider to be shoot or real, or whatever you want to say it. That's not why we watch WrestleMania. We watch WrestleMania because WrestleMania is going to give us hard-hitting, exciting matchups, new faces, so much black excellence that's coming up in the ranks, and a chance to relive those moments as we did as a kid. Life is real enough, right? Why not go back to a place and a part in time where we just relax and enjoyed ourselves over something as simple as watching something on television, and that was professional wrestling. That's why we should watch WrestleMania. That's why we should like it. There's nothing I can say that's going to sell you on something that you don't watch on a regular basis. But guess what? If you stressed out, tune in to WrestleMania. If you want to have a good time, tune in to WrestleMania. If life is getting too serious and you forgot who you was and where your happiness came from in the younger years, watch WrestleMania. Brian H.
Yeah, you said it. The only thing I can say is, I mean, just to add on, you look at last year, right? Last year we was at the beginning of a global pandemic, and the unknowns was coming. So there was nothing live, no sports. You know, everybody talk about the Last Dance documentary that got us through because it was a party every Sunday night for 2 hours. But on that Saturday and that Sunday, there was a party because it was live action. Even though it was in an empty arena, it was wrestling. It was WrestleMania. You had your boy Gronk there. You know, he was there doing this thing, hosting the show, won the championship that day. Then we also saw legends. I mean, you know, we saw John Cena, a legend. Bray Wyatt. We saw The Undertaker, which we will find out be his last match. Like Dwayne said, it's an opportunity to get away from what's going on and just enjoy it. That's how you got to look at it.
Let me give you a scenario because it's hot right now. HBCUs are the hottest thing on the planet right now. Why? It's because black excellence has taken a different route and it's been recognized for what it's always been, but now it's in the forefront due to a number of a lot of African Americans and people of African descent that have highlighted the excellence that comes from HBCUs. We go to homecoming every year. That may be the only time half of us even watch those football games. Some of our teams are good, some of our teams aren't. But it's not about the football game. It's about the experience. WrestleMania is the homecoming for wrestling fans. Even if you don't watch it all year, guess what? On this day, on this weekend, Saturday, we're going to come back. We're going to hang out. We're going to enjoy ourselves, even if it's just for one night. WrestleMania is a tradition. It's like professional wrestling homecoming. That's why fans from all around the world, and every year there are sellout crowds and new records that surpass the Super Bowl or any other sporting event on the planet. Wrestling fans have never been in the minority. It may not be the most popular of a sports or sports entertainment, but trust me, if you need a reason, come back and enjoy yourself. That's the start of it. Now we're going to get into this card, WrestleMania 37.
Yes, and like you said, tradition, that's exactly why I got you guys on here, because again, you just cannot not talk WrestleMania whenever it comes. No matter how much I haven't watched throughout the year, I know WrestleMania is coming in April, and I know that I'm going to have my guys on the show to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Tradition. I like that word that you used, Dwayne, because we starting off. I want to talk about, you know, 3 has been my number lately. I'm not sure why 3 has been my number lately. I've been like top 3, whatever lately. I don't know if y'all been seeing me on social media. I don't know what's up with the number 3 for me. Maybe I'm gonna get $3 million tomorrow or something. I don't know. But I want to talk about you guys. You're such a hater, Dwayne. I saw that hater look. Don't be like that. I'd share, bro. I'd share wealth with y'all. If y'all need me to share.
Hey, that 3 got you in trouble on Twitter. Actually, not trouble, but you know, you was talking about a certain number 3 that caused you to go viral that had you all over Sports Illustrated.
That's not the answer. But I want to talk about the answer. No. It's not the answer. Look, I want to talk about y'all top 3 WrestleManias. Now, most of the time, for the last couple of years, Brian's been on here. I think, do I ask you this question in a sense, Brian? I think I kind of do.
Not the same, like not the top 3, but go ahead.
Yeah. I want to talk top 3, your top 3 WrestleManias of all time. And I want to talk about your favorite match from those WrestleManias. So let's do like a back and forth kind of thing. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Allen.
I thought we was.
Oh, we can rock, paper, scissors. What's up?
I mean, that's usually how me and Dwayne do things, you know.
Oh, okay. What's up? Okay.
All right.
Okay, Dwayne.
Michael Jordan fist.
See, look. I'm a psychic. I knew Dwayne was gonna win. All right, first WrestleMania. What's good?
Out of my top 3 WrestleManias of all time, the first one is WrestleMania 12, and my favorite match on the card is Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart. 60-minute Iron Man match for the WWE at the time World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. Why? Because if anybody knows me, my two favorite wrestlers of all time, 1A and 1B, is Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. No particular order. That match right there is the epitome of what my childhood was in professional wrestling. That match is kind of the antithesis of what that summed up everything that I loved about both Shawn Michaels and both Bret Hart. Like for years, they have always pulled my heartstrings, and they have been my favorites, until recent day. But like I said, those two guys, they revolutionized my childhood in the way I looked at professional wrestling. So that's my favorite one. Number 2 would be WrestleMania. Who
won that match?
Shawn Michaels did.
Shawn Michaels won. Okay.
Yes, he did.
I always love Shawn Michaels. Look, I'm a chick. I'm a girl. Y'all know I'm a girl.
Oh, yeah.
And I have always, sorry, fellas.
You and my sister.
Always had a thing for Shawn Michaels, okay?
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah.
So the second one is WrestleMania 30. And my favorite match on the card was, of course, Daniel Bryan winning the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event.
That was that long ago at this point? Wow.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Wow.
It was in New Orleans. It was against Randy Orton and Batista, triple threat match. He had to face Triple H early on in the night to even get involved in that match. That was the year of the Yes Movement. That was the year that wrestling fans changed the business. That was the year that wrestling fans forced their way into the offices of the WWE headquarters and forced them to change their original plans. It's a monumental moment in the world of professional wrestling. It is something that I was a part of and that we always celebrated after such a long, just crazy run that Daniel Bryan had just to get to that point in the first place. And my last, of course, is WrestleMania 35. Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, probably the most monumental WWE Championship match to me of all time, especially, of course it matters to me because to have another person of African descent to be a WWE champion, there's few and far in between.
Absolutely.
Of course, shout out to our latest WWE champion that's of African American descent is Bobby Lashley. But it was such a monumentous moment for us, for the culture, as wrestling fans as a whole, as Black wrestling fans. Not only did he deserve it, but it was just it was against Daniel Bryan. I mean, that's one of my favorites. I mean, the fact that he was WWE champion already was another climb. That guy came out of retirement to get back in the space that he was in, and for him to have the opportunity to pass the torch to Kofi, and just such a history-making moment for me as an African-American and as a wrestling fan. It was just, at this age, you want to still have those moments when you watch wrestling, because they're few and far between, because wrestling is not necessarily garnered to people our age at the end of the day. So to have that moment at my age with my buddies, to be in, with my brothers, Brian and the rest of the guys, and watching that together, it was such a fun moment. So that's why those will always stand out as my top 3 WrestleMania. Of course, I could say 1,000 more, but those 3 are the ones that matter the most.
So you said 12, 30, 35.
Correct. Yep.
Got it. All right, Brian H. Waters.
Don't say WrestleMania 9.
Is that his favorite?
So
gosh.
What's the backstory on this?
Number 3, I'm gonna go backwards. Number 3 is WrestleMania 9.
Gosh.
It's so hated by so many people because all the smart marks, and for people who know what the smart mark is, those are the fans that pretend they know more than business. Really, the word mark is just another word for a fan. But everybody has their opinion on it. What people can't do to me is take me out of 6-year-old Brian, whose parents just ordered his first WrestleMania for him. I saw WrestleMania 6, 7, and 8 at my grandparents' house, but WrestleMania 9 was the very first one, and it was a tape. I had it on VHS, and I recorded it, and I watched it over and over again. You know what? I was working out the other day, and guess what I was doing? I was watching WrestleMania 9, and do you know, I was sitting there right along with the late, great Bobby the Brain Heenan calling the match, and my favorite match of that night was none other than the match for the tag team championships. Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake taking on Money Incorporated, IRS Erwin R. Shyster, and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Now, did I get the result that I wanted? Absolutely not, because Money Inc. won by disqualification. But it was a fun match to watch. It was enjoyable, and I got to see my guy Hulk Hogan back in the ring, who would later on win the WWE Championship for the 5th time, which was the right call. But that's a whole nother conversation.
And how old are you?
I was 6.
WrestleMania 9, 6.
I was 6.
Dwayne, don't take that from him. That's a childhood situation.
Thank you. And the thing is, and people will always say, "Oh, Hogan shouldn't have won." When you listen to that crowd, because I listened to it again, they popped for Hulk Hogan. They loved it. It was a moment. So that was that's number 3. Number 2 will always be special to me.
Wait. You spent all that time talking about WrestleMania 9. We gonna get into the second one. God dang.
I do it, brother. Look, we've been doing this for 10 years, and he's been hating on WrestleMania 9 for 10 years.
For 10 years.
But you go into Wrestling Wrealm. YouTube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm. You go to the playlist. You go to season 1. You go to our WrestleMania specials. Boom, it's right there. I go in depth. I have a good conversation about it. So that being said, another WrestleMania. What's second one is a special one because it's the first one I got to see in person, and that is WrestleMania 28. Just being there, I got to give a huge shout out to my brother Hugh for getting on that plane and
hey Hugh, shout out Hugh,
and riding with me, and we spent that whole weekend together. Then I got to give another shout out to Glenn, Dr. D, and Corey, because those brothers have been WrestleMania veterans, and Dwayne was right there while they was really helping me get ready for this, giving me the lay of the land, letting me know, hey man, go there, just really embrace yourself. And I'll never forget after the show, hugging my brother Dr. D, because it was just such a wonderful experience. And my favorite matchup from that night was none other than the main event. Once in a lifetime, The Rock versus John Cena. For me, the first time I got to see The Rock in person. I've seen John Cena quite a few times, but to see The Rock in his hometown wrestle, and guess what the bonus was? P. Diddy was performing. P. Diddy with MGK, and then you also got Flo Rida. So, just an amazing, I enjoyed the match a lot. I know a lot of people didn't, but that was a match I really enjoyed. And then the number one, Dwayne already said it, Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, everything Dwayne said made that extra special for me. I couldn't go, and if I couldn't go, it was no better place than to watch it with Dwayne, my father, my uncle who got me into wrestling, my boy Blake who helped me, get into, help me with the backstage part of wrestling.
The business.
In the business. And then, of course, my kids and my little cousins. Shout out to my cousin Mike who produces my theme music for my shows. But being able to watch this, and we had all like Dwayne's talking about black excellence. For these kids to see a black man, an African, a man born in Africa, win the WWE Championship. You just can't beat that. So those are my 3 moments.
So you said 9, 28, 35.
Yep.
Got it. All right. So just a little background on me, and I don't know if you know this, Dwayne, but I think Brian knows. So I never got the pleasure of, when I was into wrestling, like ordering a WrestleMania. Okay. My dad would allow me to order every pay-per-view every other month, because at that time they was like $29.99. So he would just, give my mom the $30 for the cable bill. And I watched every other pay-per-view, but for WrestleMania, that bad boy was hitting at $49.99. And I guess, he was like, look, I didn't cough up all this money throughout the year. You're going to have to find somewhere else to watch WrestleMania. So I would watch it at my cousin's house. Or he would call me about it. It's a couple of years, maybe I missed it. And he would call me and tell me what happened. But, I always felt like I was missing the Super Bowl those years. I never had the pleasure. And I don't, man, I can't tell y'all the last WrestleMania I watched.
Nobody taped it for you?
No.
Oh, so you had the real friends, because somebody always had a tape for you.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin, he was. If you listening to this, Jamil, you listening to this, you should have recorded it for me.
And shout out to a big brother of ours, me and Dwayne's, my boy Brandon. He sat there, WrestleMania 17, didn't even know had I seen it or not. The next day in the locker, that tape was right there.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, y'all have really good friends, yo. Damn.
Shout out
crazy.
to all the good brothers that tape wrestling events even when your parents wouldn't buy for you. So I appreciate you brothers. I wouldn't survive without it back in the day.
Yeah, man. I ain't have it so good. But whatever. But the next night was Raw. So I felt, okay, I'll find out what happens on Raw.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
It was what it is. I'll find out who wins because obviously internet wasn't what it is back then, but it is now. So yeah, I was definitely not finding out what happened until the next.
Hey,
time,
I remember one time my dad, I played gospel music, and my dad's manager.
Said, I played gospel music.
He didn't do the guitar.
But look,
run the tape back. I want to see the replay.
WrestleMania 22. I remember my dad was like, "Yeah, it's our pre-anniversary." I said, "I thought Mr. Jasper was a wrestling fan. What is he doing booking a show on the same day as WrestleMania?" Like, I was upset. I didn't even see Rey Mysterio win the title live.
What's the craziest thing that y'all have done? I think Brian has heard this story as well, like for wrestling. So for me, again, I'm a two era girl. Maybe I've told you this as well, Dwayne, but I remember the night Test and Stephanie was supposed to get married.
Yes, a classic.
And I literally dressed up as if I was going to a wedding. Shut up, Dwayne. Shut up.
Yo, we would have been best friends a long time ago.
I dressed up for the wedding that never happened.
Is this real? Is this real?
This is a real thing. This is a real. I dressed up. Shut up. I know. Whatever.
I wish somebody had a camera phone.
Oh yeah, I was in. I mean, I remember sitting in my bedroom waiting for the wedding to happen, and yeah, that's how pressed I was. I mean, Thursday nights, Thanksgiving was just couldn't hold a candle to SmackDown. Like, I was not missing SmackDown to go to my grandmother's house for Thanksgiving. Like, that just wasn't cool. So that's just a fun fact about me. Yes, Dwayne, I was really into. I told y'all I was into wrestling. I ain't lying.
Man, I was into wrestling. You learn every day. I tell you, golly, I
think I told you that, Brian. Right?
I think so.
I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Don't hold this against me. I don't want to see none of this on any social media platforms. I don't have time for you.
No, that's gotta get cut out.
Cannot promise you anything. Sorry, cannot promise you anything.
Whatever. So let's keep it moving, because I know Dwayne said that you're not trying to sell me, but I would like to know how good these matches are. Now, obviously, I did a little pre-game talking to Brian H. Waters earlier this week, and he told me that the matches are dope this year. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna preview 6.
Okay,
we're gonna preview 6.
Sure.
I want y'all to kind of give me the storyline. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all 3 from night 1, 3 from night 2. Brian, really quick, we got to talk about this. Remember last year when I told you that Vince should keep this an all weekend thing, like a 2-night thing? Mm-hmm. Do y'all think it's going to stay like this, or is it because of COVID? Because I mean, I know it's going to be fans in the arena, and it's still a 2-night thing.
Well, you got to remember, here's the thing. So like right now, NXT is going on, and generally the way it used to be before things got switched around, NXT would be Saturday night, Hall of Fame Friday night, NXT Saturday night, WrestleMania Sunday. And then so it's always been a weekend thing. It's just now WrestleMania split.
I just mean like WrestleMania being in like 2 parts. Like,
yeah, I think it's gonna be tough though. You trying to get fans some fans may buy 2 tickets. Like, I can see me and Dwayne, of course, we'll be at both nights, but somebody might not. But I also think about the people backstage, the production crew. It's a lot to produce a WrestleMania, from directing, producing, then you got to clean up after everything. So, and building the stage, having it look fresh the next day, cleaning the arena. So it might be too much to do back-to-back nights.
You agree?
Yeah.
Dwayne?
Yeah, no doubt. Because I think that the biggest thing is, when it comes to the pandemic and everything that's been going on, people want to get back to normal. Okay. And I think, like, you got to remember also, like, usually during WrestleMania week, they have WrestleMania Access, where it's really a convention. It's a wrestling convention. And, whatever the local convention center is for where they are in that town, they have everything set up all week for autograph signings. All these exhibits, like it's WrestleMania Access is something I want to experience more sometimes than the actual WrestleMania, because just to kind of walk through history and look at the displays and the stuff they have, on deck for WrestleMania Access. That's usually Monday through, I think maybe Thursday or Friday.
It's Thursday through. It's usually Thursday or Friday through Sunday morning.
They spend Monday through Wednesday getting everything situated, and then, like I said, Thursday through probably Sunday morning they have all that stuff going on, and then, like I said, you have Hall of Fame Friday, NXT Saturday and WrestleMania on Sunday. I think that, I think just once things open up and people have the opportunity to get back to doing what they do, I think the WWE has done an excellent job of managing what's been given to them and being able to say, okay, we're going to host almost 45,000 people, split it between 2 nights. I think I don't think it's something we'll see continually, but I think for right now, it's just probably the best situation available.
Got it. Yeah,
now, I did think about something, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
While you asked that question, if the roster was split up, I know one of the things that me and Dwayne was talking about all the time was when they used to have separate pay-per-views for Raw and SmackDown. If they was to do it that way, maybe they could have did a 2-night in different cities. Or different states, but it's just so much that goes into producing WrestleMania. And people got to remember, Vince McMahon is hands-on. Just because you don't see him in front and on stage, Vince McMahon is back there, what they call the gorilla position, which is the last place you walk before, behind the curtain before you walk out. He's back there all the time. So, Vince trying to be there. They tried the 3-city WrestleMania 2 thing, and it's the reason why they never did it again.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I know me and you had a conversation like this time last year, and I was like, what if they're gonna keep it like this? Maybe it's gonna bring in a little more revenue because you got, people can make, if I can't get to the first night, then maybe I can get a ticket for the next night. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that maybe
but wrestling
that
fans,
would be a thing.
It's a lot, like Dwayne mentioned, access, because with access, you're not only buying, you sometimes just buying a ticket for access, but you can get a premium ticket where you can get autograph signings for different wrestlers. You're paying, other dollar amounts. Then you got all these other signings throughout the weekend. You go in the city and Corey is one, he has like a playlist where you can go, okay, you go to the cricket store, you meet this person. You go to the Rite Aid, you meet this wrestler. So it's so much that goes on that it would be really difficult to run a 2-night WrestleMania.
Got it.
And also you got to remember, WrestleMania season, there's a lot of other wrestling shows going on in the area. Wherever WrestleMania is, every smaller promotion and autograph and other smaller conventions, they all flock to that same city or not too far from it, so they can kind of run their shows and have their conventions because they know all the wrestling fans from around the world are going to be in that one place. So I
didn't know it was as big as you guys are breaking it down.
It's bigger than a Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
It's bigger than a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Nobody knows it because, if you're not involved in the wrestling community, you wouldn't know. But every year, it's like they go to football stadiums and break their own records. You know what I mean? It's a
wow.
It's one of those things.
For fans like, especially fans over the UK, there's a lot of fans that come from, the UK.
Wow.
That come over just to see WrestleMania. And this is the opportunity for the guys, now we can watch the independents because we got the internet, but this is a chance to get to see them in person. So for the indie wrestlers, this is a big payday for them. They get booked on these shows, but they also go to the WrestleCons and do autograph wrestling, so it's really a party. Like Dwayne said, HBCU weekend, you got people coming from all over the country. It's the same thing.
Wow. Yeah. I know. Y'all definitely just educated me on that because I didn't know it was that big. Make me want to go to a WrestleMania. That's one thing I always like regret. I regret it like
not too late. Not too late.
No, not necessarily of WrestleMania, but I'm just saying I've never been. I mean, y'all don't understand how hardcore I was about wrestling, and I've never been.
Oh, I know. Based on you still know the music.
A match. Yeah, right. So I mean, are you ready? I said I was gonna start the show off like that, and I didn't. But thanks, right there.
Hey,
but yeah, I can't believe I've never been to a show.
We'll go to a show in DC. Because you even if you
back then it was when I was watching it was the MCI Center. Yep. That's how far back it was. It was back. I think it was a Backlash at the MCI Center one year.
Backlash 2000. The Rock wins the championship. The one he should have won at WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Oh boy.
April 1st.
See, I'm trying to tell y'all, I got a little bit of knowledge in this thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get into these matches this year. I'm excited. So night one, ladies first, fellas. I'm definitely going to talk about Sasha versus Bianca. First of all, I want y'all to I really want y'all to. I need content. I need background. I need some type of context. Tell me what's going on with Sasha Banks and Bianca. What's up? What is that? What is that? Why here? Why on this stage? Why these two women?
So you want me to take
it? Are we rock, paper, scissors? Are we rock, paper, scissors in it again?
No.
I mean, okay.
No,
bet.
Brian
was. Yeah,
all right, so what you have here is Sasha Banks, the boss, the cousin of Snoop Dogg. She has finally. There was always this running joke that Sasha was.
Is she really the cousin of Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, but yeah, he took her to her first wrestling show, WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, when Snoop Dogg was performing. But the thing is, she has won. She's a 5-time champion. This is her 6th reign, I believe, or 5th reign. But now she's finally having this long reign, because every time she win the title, she would lose it within 2 weeks. Now she's got her opportunity for the first time. She's going into WrestleMania as champion. Now, like I said, cousin of Snoop Dogg, woman that's African American. On the other side, you have Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair did not grow up as a wrestling fan. She grew up as a, she was a track star.
She's a pure athlete.
Pure athlete.
She did everything.
Yeah, and Mark Henry discovered her, reached out into her DMs, told her, "Come on in, come wrestle." She did this. She picked up on it, and now she won the Royal Rumble. Like, they have Women's Royal Rumble. Won it January 31st, my daughter's birthday. So now, entering Black History Month, you have the first Black woman. Now, granted, it's only been 4 Women's Royal Rumbles. She wins it. Now, for the first time in history, you're going to have 2 Black women vying for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. So that's why this is a big moment. She winning the Royal Rumble was a big deal, because they just did full-fledged story on her. WWE 24. WWE is one of the best at producing these documentaries. Y'all like 30 for 30? Watch some of these WWE 24s on Peacock. You're welcome, WWE, for that plug.
It's probably not even on there now. They moved everything.
Well, they got some of this. You're right. But, yeah, we still upset because we had a network, but we understand. So, they did this, and they showed you her history, her backstory, her journey, her ups, her downs. She couldn't run no more. I believe she had an abdominal injury. And because of that, now she's wrestling. So now you got these 2 ladies. And at first it started off as all respect. Okay, I won the Royal Rumble, Sasha. I respect everything you did. Now, I want to face you because I want to beat the best. Well, after some mishaps, Sasha was like, "Look, you rookie." Slapped her in the face, and it was on. So now Bianca got another slap back, and she threw, knocked Sasha down. So now these 2 ladies are going to go at it, and this is the match that Black Wrestling Twitter is vying, hoping, and praying is the main event for night 1. Dwayne, you got anything to add?
No, I mean, everything you said was absolutely perfect. I mean, it's once again, it's the Black excellence continuing in WWE. It seems like it took so long for Black superstars to be put on the same mountain, the same pedestal. But it also, we have a group of Black superstars that can kind of carry that torch. They can carry that burden. They can carry that weight. They are showing up and they are showing off. And these young ladies are going to produce magic. I mean, to me, it's going to be another monumental moment, not only for the wrestling community, but also for the Black wrestling community. I mean, representation matters. And to have so many little girls be able to look at this match right here and enjoy it and see it, who knows what this is going to do to inspire another generation. And that's exactly what this world needs. We need inspired youth living their dreams and then believing what they can believe in because they see other people do it. It's so much bigger than what professional wrestling is to us. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's why you save this match for WrestleMania. That's what makes it so special.
Yeah, and the fact is, we've never seen it before. There's tons of matches we've seen on this card that they've wrestled at previous pay-per-views or Monday Night Raws. This is a match we've never seen before. This is a match like, for, on the Wrestling Wrealm, Dwayne even said at one point, Bianca did Sasha better than Sasha. Now, Sasha has kind of like really found her swag, and we're gonna see this total clash. They're
on a collision course, and it's gonna be explosion, big explosion.
Nice. So, who wins, Dwayne?
Bianca Belair. I think this is the ultimate passing of the torch. This is her chance to become a made superstar in the WWE, not as a women's wrestler, but as a superstar in professional wrestling, period. Bianca Belair athletically has grown. What she has done in the ring has grown leaps and bounds. Like, she's ready. I think that she's next up to represent us, to represent the community, and also to represent that women's championship.
Who wins, Brian H. Waters?
This is a coin toss for me because I could see it going either way. Every reason why Bianca winning, that would be my reason. But then again, Sasha has never won at WrestleMania. This could be the time she finally gets it done. This is why I'm so excited about it, because like Dwayne said earlier, there's a lot of times that we've been watching wrestlers so long, and we tell people, and this is where Dwayne always inserts the superior wrestler intellect, because he's always reminding people that, look, you've been watching wrestlers so long that you're going to know stuff, that you're going to be able to predict things. stop getting upset when you can do it. But sometimes you just can't. And this is one of those moments. You know, we talked about Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan because at that moment, we kind of felt Kofi was going to win. We knew he should win, but what if he didn't? This is one of those moments where Bianca, Sasha, I really don't know, but I'm going to go with Sasha Banks because I just feel like there's more for the boss to do.
You have to always remind yourself at the end of the day, when watching these situations, there's always a story within the story. There's plenty to watch. There's plenty to pay attention to. Always remember that.
Got it. Food for thought, little food for thought there. Absolutely. From, you know, the real Dwayne Allen. All right, so cool. Y'all, that's.
She wants to watch WrestleMania now.
It sounds so good.
We did it. We sold her. She wants to watch WrestleMania now.
Like,
look, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Ash, it was this season where the Wrestling Wrealm was born. We just didn't know what it would be called. We knew we'd probably have a show. I kind of knew it. Like, I remember telling my now wife, Nakia, like, hey, this is the guy right here. I need to be my host because, like, every time we would have these conversations outside of Morgan State University during WrestleMania season, it would be to a point when Monday Night Raw went off, I couldn't wait till Tuesday because I knew we had 2 classes together, and he was the person, and it put me back in middle school with Hugh, where it was like, yo, where's the way that? Yo, did you see Raw last night? What's going to happen? Now, how you think this going to turn out at WrestleMania? Mm-hmm. But it was during WrestleMania season when it was born.
Absolutely.
Nah, for real, y'all kind of y'all got me already. Y'all got me already. I ain't gonna lie. You got me already. All right, boom. Let's move to the next one. All right, so Bobby Lashley, champion, as y'all mentioned earlier.
WWE champion. You make sure
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me WWE.
We don't get
champion.
the big belt that
Lashley. Often. Yeah. My bad. My fault. My bad. Let me be more respectful. WWE champion Bobby Lashley. Okay, was that good? That was good.
Absolutely.
Versus Drew McIntyre. Brian. Well, actually, Dwayne. I need backstory, context. What's up with this? Why here? Why now? Why these two people? Why this show?
Drew McIntyre won at WrestleMania last year. WrestleMania last year took place at the WWE Performance Center. It was empty. It was dimly lit. There was no fans there. It was only one camera, 2 superstars in the ring, and 2 guys on commentary. That moment catapulted Drew McIntyre in the stratosphere during the most difficult time that this planet has seen in such a long time. That man had to win a championship and carry a company when there were so many question marks going on. That man has carried this company for a better half of a year on up. And here we are at WrestleMania. And not too long before WrestleMania, this man loses that championship to Money in the Bank winner, The Miz, television and movie superstar, The Miz, only to have that championship lost to Bobby Lashley less than a night later. Bobby Lashley got involved in that situation to put Miz in a good situation, but Miz also owed him a title shot, which ended up biting him in the tail. And that's what gave us another African-American WWE champion. Needless to say, Drew McIntyre is not happy about the situation, and he's been climbing to find his way back to a championship that he really didn't lose, failing in the ring 1-on-1, but he lost it on a technicality due to the Money in the Bank briefcase that The Miz should have previously lost, but somehow got it back once again due to a technicality. No fighting champion that's had to carry the company in the most difficult time is going to want to lose or settle on being in a situation based off a technicality. This man gets his rematch at WrestleMania. So now you have the man that has carried the company during the most difficult time in professional wrestling versus the man that has waited 18 years, an African-American man, an African-American wrestling superstar that took 18 years to get to this pinnacle. So you got one superstar that wants his title back and one superstar that says, I'm not giving this up because I just got here and it took me 18 years to get it. Now, these men are both 300 plus pounds, full of muscle, tall, titans ready to clash. You tell me what's going to happen the minute they step in the ring. The fact is, I honestly don't even know. They're going to kill each other because they're fighting for reasons that are beyond us as fans. That's a feeling we can't relate to unless we've been in those boots. And guess what? The only way for us to relate or figure out what's going to happen is to sit back and watch.
So, boom, damn, this y'all, boom, y'all, boom. Y'all really look. They might need to hire y'all, yo, for real, because y'all are definitely like.
We just sold it.
Y'all selling for real. All right, Brownish Water. Who wins?
I'm going with Bobby Lashley. I'm gonna stick with Black excellence here. Like Dwayne said earlier, there's always a story within the story. His group, the Hurt Business, was like this group of African American men. Ashley, do you? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you remember the Four Horsemen? You remember hearing about them, or did you leave wrestling before Evolution started with Triple H and Ric Flair and Randy Orton, Batista? So you probably did. Okay, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Who, but you had 4 black men on Monday Night Raw in suits, tailored suits, just dominating everything. At one point, they had the world title and the tag titles. Well, they broke up. So now you're wondering, oh man, why did they break up? Well, everybody, Black Twitter was complaining. Dwayne said, look, Bobby Lashley, he's dominant. He don't need a group now. Now, they keep telling us that the Hurt Business isn't broken up. They're just reassembling. But with that being said, I still think Bobby Lashley is going to establish his dominance and get this win over Drew McIntyre. McIntyre beat him, I believe it was at Backlash or sometime during the pandemic to retain the title. But now Bobby Lashley, I think, he's really like dug deep and revved up, and now he's that dominant force we've been wanting to see.
Since his debut.
Y'all are really whoa, I might have to. Okay, who wins? Dwayne.
I'm gonna tell you who wins. I believe that Bobby Lashley will retain because the Hurt Business will reassemble at WrestleMania in a cleverly plotted ruse to throw Drew McIntyre and the rest of the WWE Universe off to help that man retain the WWE Championship. And this story does not end here at WrestleMania, and it just continues on. The next night, and then 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 the next night. Man, at least that's what I want to see. At least that's what I want to see.
Hey, MVP got on Twitter and said, buy the merch. If you want to do something, buy the merch. So I think he was trying to tell us something. But WWE, there's always these reports, right? And there's always these journalists that's getting inside information. These same journalists told us WrestleMania 33. Ashley, I think you remember this moment. We was both working at Fox Sports, and Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy came back, and then all of a sudden the Twitter went array, and you said, "Hold on, guys. I know you're excited because I believe you may have been watching that WrestleMania."
I think I do remember.
But they said the Hardy Boys.
Guys.
It was a alert that day, and Dwayne may remember this. Earlier that day, I remember we was on the way to WrestleMania, and there was alert. Hardy Boys just signed with Ring of Honor.
Oh man, I was
reported by CBS. And then all of a sudden, when the New Day acted like there's another team to be added to the match, and then you hear that drum beat, that guitar strum or whatever, and you was like, the whole place went crazy. I lost my voice because the Hardy Boys have returned.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like the way you just said, they have a way. There's been all these plans. Vince doesn't like the Hurt Business. They fought to keep the Hurt Business together, and Vince said, no, we don't know. That's why I try to stay away from the dirt sheets, as they call it, during this time of year.
I've said this before. Once again, this is what we do. As we go deeper, we get you to think beyond what it is.
Please.
This is the first wrestling event with a live audience in over a year. Okay, there's 2 ways you produce your wrestling television. You produce for what we watch on TV, and you produce what you watch for the live audience. For the past year, they've only been producing for the TV audience.
Right.
There's going to be a live fan base here. We're talking about 45,000 people split between 2 nights. Something is going to happen. They're going to start doing things for shocks and surprises to kind of get wrestling fans right back into the feel of what they've missed for so long.
Right.
That's that's something you got to keep in mind. That's something you have to think about.
And it's a double edge because
that may just be selling me right there. Just don't know what's going to happen. I might want to watch it because I just don't know.
And here's another thing, because like he said, there will be fans there, but this is the first WrestleMania on Peacock, and Peacock pay a lot of money. Yes, it's a USA Network thing. It's under, the USA is under the umbrella, but I believe they're going to throw a lot of resources into WrestleMania because there are going to be people who have Peacock subscriptions that don't necessarily watch wrestling actively, but at one point they do. So you know what they say? You know what? Let me tune into this WrestleMania thing. Oh, I need to watch this. It's going to be some cliffhangers. It's going to be everything.
Yeah, I'm y'all getting me. So, but y'all think like the Undertaker comes back again kind of situation.
No, I hope not. Don't get that excited.
I told Brian I feel like the Undertaker has retired like 12 times at this point, and I don't know when to take it serious.
That's Terry Funk. Terry Funk has retired 1,000 times.
Yeah, well, the Undertaker is right behind him at now.
That's the one thing I wish you could have got to see him in person. I wish you could have got to see Taker in person because I know
Taker's my guy. Taker was my guy. Kane.
Hey, Dwayne, one time I made her watch this video. I said somebody put together on YouTube the whole Undertaker and Kane story. Like, you didn't have to, you know how we know it, but you can see when they could make these compilation videos. I said, Ashley, you need to see this. Like, you want to get in your wrestling mode? This has everything right there for you.
No, for real. Like, love the Undertaker and Kane. And just really quick, I know you were talking about earlier, like Dwayne, some of our dreams were shattered as children, and
child of heartbreak.
I was just really sad when I found out that the Undertaker and Kane weren't really brothers.
I mean, look, it happens.
Whatever.
It happens, but it's almost like when you're in a bad situation in life, you have to say, remember the good times.
Right.
And that's how you got to approach it. Just remember the good times. Don't focus on what didn't go right or went wrong. Just remember the good times.
Yeah. I was kind of distraught by that, but whatever. I moved on from it. Whatever. It is what it is. And I picked this next match. This is the final one we're going to review for night one.
Okay.
Because it's just, Brian knows this. I have a hard time with like change. Like,
yeah, you do.
Like moving on from like
the Attitude Era,
the OGs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know how good of a match this is, but I know his name.
She don't like mobile quarterbacks, y'all. She want her pocket passes.
That's not true. It whatever. That's a whole boy. Don't take me there tonight. But I chose Shane McMahon versus was it Braun Strowman?
Yes, you got it right.
Got it right. Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the money. Right. So, I mean, I tuned into the Shane era. Mm-hmm. Which way did he go? Yeah, I didn't even know I knew that right there. Dwayne, that just shocked you. Dwayne, that just shocked you right there. For real, you didn't even know. But I need context. You know the deal. Brian H. Waters, context. Shane. Shoot. First of all, why is Shane still wrestling? Well, I
need context too. Somebody help me out.
So I've been thinking about this. Up with this, and this is what I come to the conclusion. Braun Strowman is old. They figure, all right, you know what? You won the title at WrestleMania last year. It wouldn't make sense not to have you on the card. He won the Universal Championship. He beat Goldberg. He stepped up to the plate when Roman Reigns decided to put his health first and not do WrestleMania last year. Mm-hmm. So Braun Strowman was the guy responsible really for carrying the SmackDown brand. He did an okay job. But I feel like, Shane McMahon is the new Triple H where he's always going to get his match. They want to give Shane a match where he can jump off something. In this case, it's a steel cage. So why not put him in the ring with Strowman? He's not going to win, but he could do something crazy, do the coast to coast from one side of the
Shane
cage.
Is not going to win.
Right, yeah, he's not going to win.
Okay,
but his purpose is to, go in there and jump off stuff. That's what Shane McMahon's purpose has been since he's come back at WrestleMania 32 as to come in, jump off of something, and leave. Now, I think he won a match with him and Daniel Bryan was the team, right? Was that
was so accurate?
Yeah, but he fought the Undertaker at 32. He jumped off the cell, and I remember everybody at Jimmy Sufu was like, "Don't do it." And that cell was purposely high. He still did it. So that's the only reason why this could be a bathroom break match for some people, or go refill food. But that's what I come to the conclusion. Braun Strowman was old. That's why when you said the rundown, I was like, you chose that match. I said, oh, you know why? Because it's Shane McMahon. So with that being said, Braun Strowman's going to win.
Okay, all right. Well, that wasn't a good sell because now if I watch it, I'm definitely going to take a bathroom break. But
yeah, you still want to see Shane McMahon, even with his gray hairs.
Yeah, because it's super
and what kind of fresh Jordans he has.
Oh, always love Shane's shoe game. Always love Shane's shoe game. So, Dwayne, what's the tea? What's the tea with this? Is it? Well, you didn't know either. So, I mean, who do you have winning?
Well, I mean, I think Braun Strowman definitely wins.
Okay. What if
You know,
Shane shocked the world?
he may.
If he do, it'll be because Braun throws him to the cage and the cage collapse.
It's
Like a technicality.
Yeah, you got to understand the dynamics. So this is when you got to step outside of the story. You have to understand the dynamic of WrestleMania and Shane's role in the midst of what we're about to see.
Okay.
Although it may not be the most, creatively aesthetic.
Hey, look.
Come on, the most creatively aesthetic situation. He's been trying to sneak to get on camera for like an hour now.
Right.
I seen him.
He was well lit though.
Literally crawled underneath the chair and like popped up like, okay, this made me lose my train of thought. I like that kind of stuff. That's funny. It's off the cuff.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
What I'm saying is, Shane McMahon is a brand name. You know what I mean? And anything that usually Shane is involved in because his last name is McMahon and who he is, like look how Ashley just responded to Shane McMahon and the nostalgia that she feels.
True.
Remember the dynamic of what you're watching. WrestleMania, it's homecoming. What familiar face are you going to recognize if you don't see anybody else? I don't know what's going on, but Shane McMahon's making this big angry bald guy very upset, and now they're going to fight in a steel cage. A steel cage is already a aesthetically one of the most fun things you can experience in a live audience. So that's two things. So now I'm pulling you into the show. I got to fill up my show and I got to keep you entertained. So I don't really know what the other guy. I know Shane McMahon. I know the steel cage. Shane McMahon is in a position to help newer fans or fans that have come back for homecoming to recognize some of these newer superstars that have been kind of lost in the shuffle. You heard what Brian said about Braun Strowman, but you also have a guy like Elias. You got a guy like Jackson Riker. These are guys that are kind of drifting in the WWE, and they're very talented, and they're finding a way for them to get involved in this overarching storyline of why you should care about the dynamic between Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. So what that is an opportunity for three superstars to kind of get on the back of Shane McMahon and have a relevant moment in WrestleMania history, and also introduce some of the older fans to these newer characters. So maybe you might find yourself relating to one or liking one. Say, I don't know who that guy was, but he has a nice hair, or that Best Strowman guy, he was intense, and then whatever that they can do to try to hook fans at homecoming it's like come back. If we're at Morgan State, and we got a new team, and maybe you haven't really seen a game all year, but you're going to be at the homecoming, so maybe we can get you to support the game. You may like somebody you see, or you may be familiar with. Maybe we're a winning team this year, so you'll come back to games. So there's always these overarching reasons as to why things happen. I think this match is kind of a perfect example when it comes to WWE kind of rounding out what their WrestleMania is supposed to be, not only in what the show is or how creative it is, but just in the overall event status of, look, we're going to have everybody here. We want to get these guys involved. Let's give them a familiar face. It seemed like it was us as wrestling fans, because we watch every week. But for someone that may not, some people don't watch wrestling all year until they get to WrestleMania, because it's just so fun. Let me catch up on everything until I get to WrestleMania, and they may leave afterwards, but maybe they can give you a new reason to kind of watch with these new guys. You always mix a familiar face with a new face, and then maybe push come to shove, you may enjoy the new face, and you have a new reason to stick around instead of having your nostalgia run. But now you have a new reason to tune every week. So
do y'all think that maybe Shane is gonna take on this taker role where we kind of only see him in this, during WrestleMania, because obviously that's what it was for Taker for quite some time. He never came back around until around this time of the year, and then boom, he's in a WrestleMania. So maybe Shane will be that. Think so, Brian?
Yeah, I think Shane McMahon is so good in his role backstage that he's somebody who can just kind of like show up when needed. You can kind of plug him in. He's that authority. That Shane is somebody who he can actually make you love him, or he can make you hate him. This is the case we're supposed to technically hate him, but a lot of, like Dwayne said, a lot of wrestling fans like, why are they doing this? But this is he's always been that kind of utility player of the McMahon family.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Cool. All right. Well, no faith for Shane. I got a feeling that Shane may pull the upset and, shock the world. I mean, for the sake of my nostalgia, maybe he'll shock the world. We'll see. All right. So night 2, really quick. Just a little break in between here real quick. do we feel like any surprises? I know y'all mentioned like,
oh yeah, I got a
surprises, like
I got a
maybe
huge
Stone
surprise.
Cold or something.
I have a huge surprise. Hold on, Adam, come here. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, yo, but I just got word that John Cena will be in attendance at WrestleMania. As a matter of fact, come here, John. Tell the world. Come on, John. Come here. John Cena, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
Tell him you can't see you.
Can't see me.
There you go. So that's. I'm telling you, you said WrestleMania surprises. There it is. John Cena is going to be at WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen.
It. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it.
Straight from my mouth to your ears.
Hey,
so there you
listen.
Go.
Put some money on it because I think it might happen. Brian, what about you? Like, you know, I'm you know, I love, you know, I can't move on from the past. I would love for the glass to break.
No,
some way, somehow.
He might though. He's known for showing up.
Stone Cold, you know. That's what I'm saying. Like I would be excited.
One of my low key matches I always wanted to see was Stone Cold and John Cena, just because I remember Cena was on his podcast and he was like, "Hey Austin, you know, let's do it. Let's rock and roll." And Austin said,
"I can see that.
I got to get some time ready, but I don't think it's going to happen."
So I'm kind of out of the loop here. So John Cena don't wrestle no more?
He hasn't been there for a while. Like once a lot of those other new superstars came, like AJ Styles. To me, AJ Styles made it comfortable for John Cena to leave because once they got another moneymaker that was good for TV ratings, that was good for merchandise, that was good for publicity, that was good for Make-A-Wish Foundation, John Cena felt comfortable enough to say, okay, well, I'm going to go and heal up and go do some other things because his life has been WWE nonstop. So he's been able to kind of explore other careers. He's been adamant on saying that he's not done with being a wrestler. It's just right now he's taking that time off because if you ever look at John Cena's schedule as far as his career is concerned, it was unreal. And it was, to be honest with you, it had to be unhealthy mentally and physically. But I mean, that man is a machine. So, you know, he's got some well-deserved time off and the company's in a good space to be able to do what he was able to do, even with him not being there. So
let Roman Reigns tell it. He's the one taking that spot.
Yeah, look, it's hard to argue that he's not. I think it's Roman and probably a handful of other guys, you know what I mean? But they, you know.
But I think you hit it right on the head with us. AJ Styles. AJ Styles was probably the one who made John Cena feel comfortable. When you consider last year, around the time when Cena left, Roman wasn't around, but it was AJ Styles who was, you know, there every night.
Right.
You know, I was in the clubhouse with Roman yesterday, and he was talking about that, just being able, you know, he said, you know, being that guy, got to always be on the go, be on the run. Yeah. And John Cena, to me, is the greatest WWE superstar of all time because of everything he's done. When you look at a WWE superstar going from the beginning, you know, you go to Bruno Sammartino was the champion for 7 years. Hulk Hogan was on top for about 8 years. But John Cena did this for about 12 years consecutively and much more brutal schedule. You're talking house shows, you're talking WrestleManias, you're talking Make-A-Wish Foundations, you're talking TV every week. It wasn't where they could tape stuff and then, you know, live the tape. No, he's put in the work. So
yeah, much deserved time off.
So Roman. Oh, good old Roman. Shout out to my mama. Let me tell y'all something. My mama, y'all can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah.
My mama loved her some wrestling. So my mom, I should have probably had my mama on the show because she could talk. She probably could talk it just as good as y'all.
That would have been fun.
Yeah,
I remember you told me that. Your mother's
my mother's a huge wrestling fan, and I'm like, girl, you supposed to have been watching it back when I was watching it too. You know what I'm saying? But she loved her some wrestling. Love her some Roman Reigns, y'all. Love her some Roman
Hold on, wait. Time out. You said Roman Reigns? Hold on. Come here. Roman, are you here? I got a lot of famous friends. Come here, Roman.
Oh, is he? Oh!
No, I don't. Wait.
No.
I think Roman's here too. Hold on. I think it's a big dog. What do you got to say, big dog? Superman punch. Go ahead. Okay, there it is. That's right. Look, I got a lot of famous friends. Like I know I should have said something, but you know I want to surprise you. But
please, no, please, always, please bring the good.
Your mother gonna be mad she missed the show.
She gonna be mad that she missed Roman Reigns just now.
Tell your mother Roman Reigns was on your show.
I'm gonna have to tell her, but she loves her some Roman Reigns, and you know. I love to look at Roman Reigns. Sorry, it's just good. Y'all know me.
Most women do.
It's okay. My wife said the same thing. You know
that thing. Lord have mercy. That thing look good. Okay, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Y'all look excited. Look at Dwayne. Dwayne is excited. I think he dancing Bryan. I think I might have to roll with him with this context backstory. Yeah, I need to. So let me. It's been a while since I've seen something like this on the cards. This versus
triple threat
versus that's what the name of this is. Triple threat situation.
Or WCW used to call it a triangle match.
Yeah, so when I looked at the matches and I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. Mm-hmm. Context: how did they get here? Why here? Why this stage? Why these guys?
Oh boy, that's a heavy one. We celebrate the return of Edge first and foremost, right?
Yes.
Edge was
wait,
gone.
Wait. Yeah. You think you know me? I know all the music. Ain't that wasn't that the music?
Yeah, that was spot on. That's pretty spot on.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, Edge, we celebrate the return of Edge, an injury that we thought he would never bounce back from. You sit there and you look at a superstar like that and how he had to leave. Man, he made a monumental return last year at the Royal Rumble, comes back at WrestleMania, has his match with Edge, and then he ends up getting injured not too long later. So Edge has been off TV for a while.
Okay.
Roman Reigns chooses not to participate in WrestleMania last year due to health reasons and the COVID stuff that was understandably so with everything going on. Of course, one, his family dynamic, and two, all the health stuff he's had to deal with over the years. We talk about a man that had to relinquish the title because of leukemia. It's understandably so that man decided, look, man, till y'all can figure out what's going on here, I'm not putting my health in danger.
Absolutely.
Roman Reigns returns with a different attitude, a different swagger, a different intention. This man is taking his rightful place at the head of the table in a very strong dynamic in Samoan culture, where that place and that title is taken very seriously. And in his family, he is being looked to as the guy, a position that no one has been put in since The Rock himself. So it's a celebrated place. It's a demanding place. It's a main event space. Edge decides to come back. And in the midst of celebrating Edge, Roman Reigns decides, let me tell you something first and foremost. This is my yard. This has been my yard. And I have no intention of going anywhere. And if you have a problem with that, you have to go through me. Edge obviously has been out the game for so long, and he has been biting at the chance to get his hands wrapped around some of this young talent and also become a world champion once again. A title that he had to relinquish due to an injury. He never lost it. The last time he won or had that hands on his title, he won at WrestleMania. Edge comes back fiending for gold, fiending for the opportunity to be back in that place that he was before he left. So now the dynamic has changed. You got a returning legend, a Hall of Fame superstar versus the big dog, the right now, the new age, the top draw of the company. Something changes. Daniel Bryan, who has returned from a similar injury, concussions. I'm talking the ultimate underdog. We're talking about a man that has had to overcome obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. He decided that he is no longer taking any more back seats, and he wants his hands on the Universal Championship as well. That's the title that Roman Reigns currently holds. So now we have an issue. Daniel Bryan decides that I'm not taking any back seats, but in their minds, the main event has already been set. We're talking Edge. We're talking Roman Reigns. The marquee sells itself until a former champion himself decides that, no, check this out. I owe claim to this title just as much as you guys do. And guess what? Whether you like it or not, I'm going to earn my way into the situation. He manipulates his way. He provokes his way into an opportunity and he wins it, passing that test from flying color. He is now added to this triple threat. So you got a people's champion in Daniel Bryan, a man who has come back from a similar career-ending injury, now at the top of his game. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Right? He's in that space where he decides, check us out. I'm here to spoil the party. I don't care what you guys planned. This is my show, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because guess who's been here when you guys weren't? Versus Roman Reigns, who is the hottest thing right now in the business. There's nothing bigger, there's nothing badder than Roman Reigns walking the face or the planet of professional wrestling in this moment. And then you have the endearing returning superstar, one of our favorites that has triumphantly made his return back to the ring in a spectacular fashion. So now we have this triple threat dynamic, and now the fans are torn three different ways. On one hand, we love the attitude of Roman Reigns. One guy that smiled and cheered with that great McDonald's grin is no longer taking any crap and he's being himself. On the other hand, you have the nostalgic superstar of yesteryear, the one we always cheered for to be great and to come back from such a climb and such a monumentous task. And then you have Daniel Bryan, the ultimate underdog, but the ultimate people's champion that has also made claims. So now you got fans going, well,
I was gonna ask you, who do y'all think that the fans are going for with this? Like, I was literally gonna ask you that because it's just so many different dynamics to.
Well, one thing you got to remember, fans have never been in the arena with this Roman Reigns, a guy who was shoved down everybody's throats that they wanted us to cheer. If you remember Rocky Maivia and how WWE wanted us to love the Rock with the curly hair, and then and the fans said no, then he became the Rock. This is a similar situation. Roman has finally flipped that switch. He got a shirt that says head of the table. He got one coming out this weekend called Acknowledge Me. And now people are like, oh, wait, we like him. So this is what makes it difficult. Like you said, who do they root for?
Who wins, Brian H?
I'm going with the head of the table. I want to see Roman. I don't want to see nobody beat Roman until the next guy is up. Like, I was looking at yesterday was the Hall of Fame. JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, or Bradshaw from the Acolytes, the APA. He went in. He had this long, lengthy title reign that drove me crazy. And when it was finally over, it was because John Cena finally was the next man up, and he finally took him down. That's what I want to see with Roman Reigns. I don't want to see nobody beat him until there's a new superstar ready.
Who wins? Dwayne, the real Dwayne Allen.
I think Edge
got it. You can't.
I think Edge nips him. I think Edge gets him. I think the triple threat dynamic changes the situation. So on one hand, we have this dynamic where you see these two titans going head to head, but the triple threat dynamic just changes the whole psychology of the situation, because one guy could lose based off somebody else's mistake. And I think we could find ourselves in a situation where Reigns may be disposed and Edge may take advantage of Daniel Bryan. So I think once again, it leaves the biggest thing that I'm looking for as an adult watching professional wrestling, the question mark. That's all I want. If you can keep me guessing, if you make it hard for me to predict, if you make it hard for me to choose. Never been the biggest Roman Reigns fan at all, but there's no denying what that brother has done. It's been impressive. Edge has always been my guy. Daniel Bryan has always been my guy. Now I'm like, okay, I'm conflicted because I'm not sure who I want to win. It's difficult to say, but I do think because of the triple threat situation, it really makes things difficult for anybody to get a clean win, because anything could happen.
Got it. So you're going Edge, you're going Roman Reigns. I'm going Daniel Bryan.
Hey, if Daniel Bryan wins, I'm telling you, I'm going to go crazy.
Because,
I would like to know why.
Because that's unexpected.
That is true. I think so. I think he's
unexpected.
He's the underdog in the situation. He's very much so the underdog. So
he is. And I'm familiar with these names, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Brian H. Waters then gave me enough Daniel Bryan ammo to last me a lifetime. Okay.
Oh, I can imagine.
His guy. That's his guy. That was his guy. So, and my mom with the background on Roman Reigns, and of course, I know, what I know about Edge. So, I feel like it's gonna be some type of an upset. It's not gonna be what folks think it is.
I think so too. I think you're onto something.
That's gonna be exciting, and this next one is gonna be exciting too. Really, I'm not sure. Y'all gotta let me know if it's gonna be exciting or not. Just another name that I'm familiar with, which is why I decided to go Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Listen, for the ladies, this is the man fine. Isn't he wonderful? As
you talking about the Fiend or Randy Orton?
I'm talking about Randy Orton, not the Fiend. So Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Context.
Oh, you gotta go with Dwayne on that one, because man,
you don't know the context on this, bro.
No, but see, I can't explain it the way he can, because he said something about on the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, which you can find on all social media platforms.
That's right.
That
Plug
really
yourself.
Drove this home, so I gotta defer to him.
All right, cool. What's up,
man? We're talking about a story that is.
See, this one I could be a fan. You gotta be a fan of your own. You gotta be a fan of your own co-host.
That's real. That's real.
Listen to me. This has got to be the strangest dynamic that I have seen in such a long time. We have had the advantage of watching a horror film play out for weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks. leading up to this WrestleMania matchup, the history behind Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and then the evolution of that character and the evolution of who Randy Orton is. They have gone to dimensions that are beyond professional wrestling, and that is the beauty of it, because it goes back to what I said before. They have been producing content for television because there have not been any live audience. They have had a lot of advantages to being able to make sure that they can give us certain things and certain effects to pull us into, draw us into this story that we have never seen before, to the length and to the degree of the technology available to pull this off. That being said, if you want to see a horror movie play out in a professional wrestling ring, you need to go back and see where this all started between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Oh. The Fiend was set on fire not too long ago. There was an Inferno match put in place, and the match ended with Randy Orton literally dousing the Fiend in gas and lighting him on fire. Now, the Fiend's, I don't even know what you call her, Alexa Bliss, has not been happy about his disappearance. Okay. Alexa Bliss has been nothing short of amazing. Okay. She is the glue that has pulled this entire story together at the end of the day. Okay. She has managed to pull us in week after week, even when Bray Wyatt has not been on television. This man returned after being set on fire weeks after weeks after weeks from underneath the ring, deformed, melted, seeking revenge. She has been performing all types of voodoo and witchcraft to play with the mind of Randy Orton. He's been seeing things. He's been coughing up black ooze or oil, whatever it is he's coughing up, because she has gone to the lengths of giving us this story of revenge. This Fiend, this character that transformed who she was. I'm telling you, people may not like the situation for what it is, and I can't go into depth because we'll be here for another hour and a half. But if you have the opportunity to go back and check out one storyline, they have plenty of YouTube channels and plenty of YouTube videos where they have broken these things down. They have explained, they've gone into detail about it. If you want to see a horror movie play out on professional wrestling television, go back and look at Bray Wyatt, The Fiend versus Randy Orton, because that story climaxes and it comes to an immediate head at WrestleMania. Mind you, this is the first time we have been in front of fans. We're talking over 25,000 to 45,000 people in attendance.
This is an Inferno match, right?
No, the Inferno match was months ago.
Okay, got it. Huh. I don't know. I think that might have been the one that just sold me, y'all, right there. Oh, man.
Randy Orton has gone beyond any superstar's range of acting when it comes to pulling this entire thing off, whether you think it's campy, whether you like it or not. It's some of the best work I've seen both superstars ever participate in. It's some of the best work I've ever seen Alexa Bliss ever do. The depth and the range to pull off a horror movie. I'm trying to tell you, it's a horror movie in live.
Is it anything like Paul Bearer and Kane and them back in the day? You know, that was kind of spooky, scary storyline-ish. Okay.
Imagine if Paul Bearer and Kane and Undertaker storyline took place at a twisted, abandoned carnival where demonic clowns lived and had each and every space that occupied anybody that walked into that space. That's what you're talking about when it comes to Randy Orton versus The Fiend, the mind games, the pieces in between. That is the level. That is the dynamic. If that's what you've been exposed to, I'm talking to your audience. If that's what you've been exposed to in that day and you enjoyed that, step into 2021 and watch this story completely unfold. Go back and watch what you've missed. Catch up on what you missed, what you need to know. And at WrestleMania, we're going to finally see how this story is. It's almost like a movie. It's almost like a 3-movie series where you don't know what's going to happen until you see the next movie. WrestleMania should be the final movie, but guess what though? It might lead to another sequel.
Okay.
It's been like 30 Halloween movies. We may be in a similar situation. We don't know, but I'm looking forward to the evolution of where this story has started to where it ends. I'm excited for it because it's been unique. It's such a different dynamic, and just like I said, the range of performance that these superstars have really brought to the table. It gives me reminiscent of Kane, Undertaker. We don't get those things anymore, but everything is kind of just flat and devilish. Like we get it. And it's like, okay, we get it. You're the evil guy. It just, there's no depth to it. But this right here, bro.
Yeah. So who wins?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's the whole point. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm dead serious.
We can go either way.
I don't care what we predict for the rest of this week. I do not know because I don't know what story they're trying to tell. Think about it. I'm not a horror movie buff. So usually in horror movies, they leave these tracks, right? They leave these things, and you can kind of your job is to kind of take each track and you follow those crumbs to the next thing, and they teach you what you want to. They tell you what they want you to tell you, and then it leads you to the next thing, and then it all comes to a climax at some point, but you never know when that climax is. You don't know how many times have we watched a movie and we go, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be a second one. Oh snap, it's going to lead to the third one. Oh snap."
Right.
We don't know where this ends. We don't. It doesn't mean it's going to end at WrestleMania, but guess what? It could. And if it does, it's like, let's see where this all goes. You've built this up for months at a time. Now we're going to see. This is the first biggest wrestling show with wrestling fans since the pandemic hit. It's going to be nothing short of amazing. And if it isn't what it is, it's going to flop. It's going to be done. It's going to be such a wasted opportunity for such a unique story that they even decided. It's ambitious to even embark on in the first place. But the fact that they went there, like I'm a kid again. That's all I care about. Like, I don't care about all the other stuff. It's not that serious to me. It's stupid. It's wrestling. But I'm here to have fun. I'm here to enjoy it. I'm here for that story. And I'm like, man, they've had me hooked ever since. And I'm just looking forward to see where it goes. I mean, I can't even tell you who's going to win. I really don't know.
What about you, Brian? Do you got somebody winning? You know, is up in the air for you too?
That I could honestly see ending in like a no contest because everybody just disappears. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm going with The Fiend. I think The Fiend's coming back with a vengeance. And he's already a nasty looking Fiend. Like Dwayne said, Fiends, they don't die, they just evolve. And that's what I think I can't see him losing.
That might have been it right there, y'all. That might
you
have
said
been
that
it
after
right
every
there.
match.
No, for real. No, for real though. I don't think I've said it since we talked about the girls.
No, you said that after Shane. After Shane and Strowman. Then you said
Shane is like
Roman and Edge.
No, but for real, Dwayne just took me there. Just. I love horror movies.
Oh, there you go.
It's giving Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes for me. Like, I love horror movies. So that might have been the one. That might have been the one right there.
Nah, it's there.
Yeah, oh my gosh, y'all. No, for real. I know I say this every year, Brian, because you've been on the show the last couple years. But I might watch WrestleMania this year. I might actually watch it. Y'all are doing a great job.
We're gonna give you a quiz.
We did it, Brian H.
For those that for y'all that's listening, come on, y'all. They doing it. Man, what?
Hey, you think your Twitter be going off when you be talking sports? You tweet about wrestling on Saturday and Sunday and see what happened. You're gonna have a whole new set of followers.
Yeah, I might have to see what's up. So last match we're gonna preview Riddle. Is it the Riddle or is it Riddle?
Matt Riddle or Riddle. I think they just call it Riddle.
We're gonna roll with Riddle. Riddle versus Sheamus. Now, I'm familiar with Sheamus, Carrot Top guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Is this the snore? Is this a snore fest like this match? Oh, damn. I did good the whole show with these. Look, I figured, sell me.
Since I got this job, I'll take care of it, right?
Go ahead, Brian.
What you have is
sell me too, please.
So, this match is for gold, right? So it's a championship on the line. So that right there,
it's a continental
United States. I wish you would have chosen a Intercontinental Championship match because that's between two black guys, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes. Oh, she talking about Big E and Apollo Crews.
Right.
Oh, I see. Go ahead.
No, because I was trying to. It's like no, and you know how Ashley get when you want to make an adjustment. And
it's the Nigerian drum match, though. Are you kidding me? We talk about black excellence. We get African tradition involved in a wrestling match.
Fine. We're not gonna talk to Riddle. Do your thing. Right. We're not talking Riddle. We're not talking Sheamus. We're talking. What's this matchup? What's this matchup? What's this matchup y'all talking about?
Brian, let's break it down.
All right, break it down.
All right, so you got this African drum match. What you have is Apollo
Who are
Crews.
the participants?
Oh yeah, for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, you have Big E defending that Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. Now, Big E has been with the New Day for the past 7 years. He's been known to be the silly guy. He's been like a silly group. When it came time for Kofi, he was the guy saying, you know what, I'm supporting you, my brother. When Kofi got hurt earlier this year, Kofi went to Xavier Woods was hurt. Kofi said to Big E, he said, dog, it's your time now. Woods is hurt. I'm hurt. Now it's your time to step up and go after the main event. Go after singles titles. Well, afterwards, they came back. The New Day, his brothers get drafted to Raw. Okay. Big E's on SmackDown by himself. They didn't do the traditional breakup. Like usually they break up the teams, whatever. No, the New Day's still together, but they just on different shows. So now you have Big E who wins the Intercontinental Championship. You know, it was a big deal. He won it on Christmas Day, and he's been defending that. Now, there's been discrepancies because me and Dwayne see things differently. Dwayne still wants to take Big E seriously. He's not taking him seriously. I'm like, okay, what I see is a guy who plays around, but when he plays around, when he gets smacked a couple times, he gets serious, right? So you got that. You got him on this side. Now you have Apollo Crews. Now Apollo Crews has been in the WWE system for about 6 years or so, maybe more. He's been a good wrestler, but he's been one of those people who, you know, they plug him in, insert match here. We need a good match out of somebody. Put him here. He loses, whatever. Just walking around, smiling, kissing babies, being the typical baby face. One day, he sat in the chair in the office with the head of the table, Roman Reigns, and didn't say nothing. You couldn't hear the conversation, but what you saw was they would go to little commercial breaks. And before they go to commercial breaks, you see Roman just kind of, and you see Apollo just being a student of the game. So then he was due up for the Intercontinental Championship match. They have a match, show called Talking Smack. And during that show, Big E was playing around saying, you know what? Well, we got, you know, me and Cruz, you know, we'll wrestle. I'm still better than him, whatever, right? Whatever. And Cruz just kind of looks at him. And Paul Heyman's kind of getting into Cruz's head like, you need to be like, basically, you need to get serious and make a change because it's no friends in this business. It's a dog-eat-dog world. So that's when you start to see that attitude change by Apollo Crews. Then suddenly he snaps and he's beating Big E up. And he's like taking the steps. They can do camera tricks because they're in the Thunderdome, so you can't see, you know, there's no fans right there to see that. But it looks like he throws the steps on them and just throws them on top of them. So now, all of a sudden, Apollo Crews, who is Nigerian born, comes on SmackDown and he's speaking in his native accent. Black Twitter goes off. Oh, why is he talking like that? Now he's got this fake Nigerian accent. What he explained was that he had conformed to the American way so long, speaking in our language, that he had to learn our accent because he was ashamed of it. And now he's embracing this. And he came up short at Fastlane, but then, you know, he's just digging deeper. Now he's getting meaner and he's like embracing his Nigerian heritage. And this is now an African drum match. Anything goes. False. I don't think it's a false count anywhere. But now this is his crowning opportunity to become the WWE Intercontinental Champion. So, anything else you got to add, Dwayne?
Let me tell you what just happened. Let me explain to you the significance of what happened with Apollo Crews. Most people don't understand this, but our people and kids and people of color that can relate to us or have any type of connection to any African heritage of today or yesteryear. A WWE superstar embraced his roots and his culture on live television.
Wow. Yeah.
A man that is relative, his ancestors are Nigerian kings and generals and army leaders. Traditionally, the man chronicled his family tree to where he is from. And that man said, yo, let me tell you something. My ancestors were Nigerian kings passed down from great to great to great. And now their blood is still living and boiling inside of me on national television. To some people who may think, oh, Apollo Crews, wrestler. No, I don't think y'all get it. A man embraced his culture, who he was, his Nigerian history, family, lineage, and bloodline. And that man has decided that power, that bloodline, that lineage is what's going to propel him in a space where he's not taking it anymore. We all live in a world we felt that way in some way, shape, or form, but we've never fully understood our heritage, especially if we've grown up in the United States. Unless we have come from families and cultures that have given us that space and understood our lineage and our ancestry. We have not all had that privilege. That's not something that's general information. That's something we have to research.
That's right.
That man broke that lineage down. That is strong. That is royalty on national television, and that's who he is. He said, I'm going to embrace who I am. This isn't a game. This is who I've always been, but I have not been allowed to be myself. How many times have we been at work or in situations where we haven't been allowed to be ourselves? It doesn't matter what your culture is. If you come from the streets, you can't go to the workplace and act yourself because that's who you are. They say, oh, that's unacceptable here because you have to conform to the standards and practices of employment.
That's right.
They have given us something to embrace and to look at and say, man, this guy is embracing who he is. Maybe we should start embracing who we are in whatever capacity that is, whatever culture, creed, race, wherever it is you're from. Embracing who you are is the message they are sending, and it is giving life to this new character that has stepped foot against another black man and say, check this out, man. We're going to toe to toe because there's prestige on the line. This isn't about race. This is about prestige. I come from royalty, and you have something that I want. I'm not playing nice anymore. And now they have incorporated his heritage into this match. I don't know what a Nigerian drum match is. I just pray it ain't stereotypical, but I'm assuming that what they've given him already to embrace and what they've allowed him to do and to put on television, I want to see what I'm excited for. I don't even know what to think about the situation. And that's the way it's supposed to be because I'm going into WrestleMania not knowing what I'm getting myself into. Right. I've been around wrestling enough. You can start to predict things over and over again, but I'm talking about a situation that I'm not familiar with. That's how I watched wrestling as a kid. You didn't know what was going on. As an adult, it's not that easy. So if you give me something to at least question to say, I got to tune in to figure out what's going on, that's exactly what they've given to me. And not to mention, like I said, I come from Nigerian ancestry. So that's also why I'm like, okay, now we're cooking with grease. I'm like, man, the significance of that situation for us, for Black Twitter, for the Black wrestling community, for Black media in general, man, we don't get a whole lot of opportunities to embrace who we are on national television, on these big stages like this. So they're happening so much in these small capacities, and I'm celebrating each victory.
Yeah. I've never, man, I don't even think 2 years ago, Brian, was we talking about black excellence being at the level that it's at now in the wrestling. I mean, just 2 years ago.
We just,
you know what I'm saying? It just sounds like it's a completely different world. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I'm getting from y'all from this whole show. So who wins, Brian?
Apollo.
Who wins that
Apollo
match?
Crews gotta win.
Okay.
Apollo.
You agree, Dwayne?
Absolutely.
Apollo.
I think they're gonna move Big E from that space and put him on a bigger platform, man. But I think, I mean, that the Intercontinental Championship is a workhorse title, and it's not too many workhorses just like Apollo Crews.
Yeah. So. That's exciting. Nah, for real. Y'all tell me how excited are you. So what y'all got playing? Like,
you wanted Riddle and Sheamus.
Yeah, whatever. I was waiting for y'all to tell me on that, but it's cool. So are y'all like ordering food? Are y'all throwing up COVID safe party? Like what do y'all have planned before we get out of here? Like what are y'all doing?
I'm firing up the grill.
Kicking it with the kids. Oh, okay.
I'm firing up the grill.
Y'all watching it together. You for those that don't know, they're like best friends,
It's my brother.
That's my brother.
They're brothers.
My kid's godfather, so
that's right. So y'all not gonna like hang out? No.
Well, the invitation is on the table. Brian H always has something. He's going to have something way smaller now because of COVID restrictions. Just trying to be overall safe. But I think I'll be watching it with a bunch of little children. And but like I said, also I'll be also preparing for shows because it's a week, you don't really get a whole lot of room. Like tonight is NXT Takeover. We got to sit there and talk about that. You know what I mean? And then we got to start preparing for another show we got to do, and then we could potentially be on somebody else's show. So there's almost no rest for the weary. Like,
I feel happy that I was the first stop on y'all's WrestleMania tour. You know what I'm saying? I feel.
Well, see, you smart too. You booked us about a month ago.
There you go. That's that was key. That was key.
I already knew. I'm like, I definitely need to make sure that I have y'all. Again, I cannot not talk WrestleMania. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like Royal Rumble time. He's like, by the way, you're coming on for WrestleMania.
Right. Always. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I get both? Oh, I'm getting the full Wrestling Wrealm crew? Bet it's on. I wasn't letting nothing stop this. I just wasn't letting nothing stop it. So thank y'all for coming on. I know
I didn't even reveal my surprise guest.
Oh, Oh, I thought we. Who was your surprise guest?
No, it makes sense for
Is it somebody I know?
You probably maybe you remember the man Becky Lynch.
Oh, you think she returned?
Is that two people?
I think, and I said this. I'm gonna say it again. I think Becky Lynch and Bayley will somehow end up in the tag team, and they will face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to win the tag titles.
Oh boy!
Now that's my going off. See, that's another thing because Ronda could come back too. You know, and goodness gracious, if Sasha wins, because that's the direction. You know, I think Ronda and Sasha would be something.
Oh boy!
Ooh. Even that sounds interesting to me, and I'm oohing. Ooh.
I personally like Ronda.
So you think Becky Lynch? You think Becky Lynch coming back?
That's just my off the wall, out of the limb surprise, and that's always the fun part about WrestleMania is you know, predicting these things. But just that day is just something where. You know, I might tweet here and there, but I'm more so just tweeting and putting down. I'm not like scrolling through my timeline. I'm just dropping. Yeah. You know how it is. You drop off a thought here and there, and then you check the mentions later. You know, but that's probably what I'll be doing.
Cool.
And of course, at Wrestling Wrealm, you know.
Yeah, I'm about to say plugs. I need plugs. Let my beautiful listeners. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is just so dope. People are gonna love this show. I just know the show.
They do every year.
So, they do, yeah. So, but hey, look. Every time Brian get on here talking wrestling, Brian, your numbers always skyrocket. Like, you know, I don't like to talk numbers, but it's always at the top. It's always at the top as far as my show. So
man, shout out to you though, because you know, when you first started this, I told you consistency. And you know, I'm always gonna give you your flowers in public. I give you private all the time. But shout out to you, you know, being consistent, doing this. Now you got another show with the our Morgan State sister, Chanel.
That's my girl.
Even though she like that black and yellow, that ugly black and yellow, I'll still yeah. But you know, I still respect it.
I ain't saying that for Chanel. That's them.
Because Melo's her favorite basketball player, so we could be cool on that. But you know, y'all got the straight shooters jumping off, so you know, shout out to y'all. But yeah, you know, you can catch the Wrestling Wrealm. Subscribe on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm. Realm spelled WREALM. Also, drop us. You know, you can support the show by going buymeacoffee.com/The Wrestling Wrealm. You know, you can become a member. And you know, support every month, or you could just say, hey, you know what, I want to support these good brothers out there dropping off as low as $5. So you know what, Dwayne don't drink coffee, he eats pizza. So since apparently
some pizza,
since apparently
for some reason he believed that pizza is better than spaghetti, and that's just ridiculous at this point.
It is.
You know, grow up, Dwayne. Grow up.
It is better than spaghetti.
It's not better. It's not better than spaghetti. You know how many ways you can make spaghetti?
You know how many ways you can make pizza?
I'm walking off. Bye, y'all.
No. Grow up, Dwayne.
But yeah, we also on all podcast platforms. So if you're out there listening to this show right now on Apple, Spotify, Google, or Anchor, you can also just search the Wrestling Wrealm or click the hyperlink. click the hyperlink and go right and subscribe to our podcast as well.
Yeah, they always have
Dwayne?
Great content, y'all.
What am I plugging in? I'm sorry.
He's done. You did everything.
Usually you plug everything. Like,
okay.
Oh, so she does what she do. She takes the social media things away from the video. Like Brian does that. I'm like, bro, what if somebody tunes in late? They don't know what I'm looking at.
But you know what though? One thing I do want people to do is we have some shows coming up, so make sure you tune in. One of the shows that I am really excited about, and I ain't even say nothing to Dwayne, so we'll see if he say yeah or nay. The Black Excellence in Professional Wrestling. We talk all this Black Excellence on here.
Yeah.
You're going to really hear us really go in depth of the conversation. There was a lady named Ethel Johnson or Ethel Johnson.
Ethel Johnson. Say her name.
Well, see, the reason why I messed it up because my godmother's sister's name is Ethel. It's spelled the same way. But she went into the WWE Legacy Hall of Fame.
Yes, indeed.
You're talking about a Black woman who, as Dwayne put on his Twitter account at Dwayne Allen 24, that we don't give her enough credibility, enough respect. But I'm really excited to talk about the Black excellence in professional wrestling. Obviously, we spent the time talking about Sasha and Bianca, Bobby Lashley, but there's so many people that we really go in depth and talk about. And I promise you will want to check out that episode. We also had an episode on AEW competition or a copy to the WWE. Ashley, you remember the Monday Night Wars when there was a WCW where they got this program called AEW, and people want to know, is this really good? Well, the real Dwayne Allen and I, we really go in depth in the conversation. And his greatest project to date, if you ever seen the NWO's paid promotion, we did it ourselves. Shout out to our brother Hugh for being behind the camera, helping us get that done. But when I tell you, because Dwayne ain't gonna say how great it was. I mean, he will maybe with this one. Most of the time, he humble. But look, when I saw it,
most of the time, you said.
I'm telling you, it was his greatest creation. I will say that it was better than what WCW put together themselves, just because Dwayne had the cool effects in there, and it shows that the Wrestling Wrealm is for life.
The only thing I'm mad about, I'm like, oh crap, where's the graphic? Like, the graphic could have just popped up as you were talking about it. Like, it's all good though. You did an excellent job, buddy. Like, that's why you're you're good.
He's the guy. You're the guy. Brian H is Brian H. Well, thank y'all for being on. No, for real, y'all have really graced me with y'all presence. I'm excited, for everybody. Yeah, I'm excited for everybody to see this. This will be on my new YouTube channel. So when y'all, get the link, shut up. When y'all get the link, y'all will be on my YouTube channel. Also, it's gonna be on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Google. I'm trying. Brian really want me to be the female version of him, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I'm literally like his protege. Like it is that, isn't it? Yo, he literally, this is what he wants out of me. Seriously. So make sure that you guys I know. Make sure that you guys subscribe, Apple, Spotify, Google, to About Nothing But Sports. This is going to blow up. I'm so excited. Thank y'all for educating me. Thank you guys for educating
5-star ratings
my
go a long way.
Yes, make sure y'all do that. And I put a little ticker down here at the bottom, and make sure that y'all, feel free to hit the cash app, some donations.
Hey, I got a kick out of that. I said, "Oh, snap!" She put the cash app. You were talking. I was like, "Oh, snap!" So she put a cash app.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the support that I get, and I want the support to continue. So I appreciate that. So
cash app, please.
Yes. So again, we're signing out. We are done, guys. Thank you again for joining me, Brian H. Waters, the real Dwayne Allen, 100% of the Wrestling Wrealm. Thank you guys again for joining me. Same place, same time next week. We are out.
Peace.